So welcome students, this is class 12th and today's topic is narration, and today we will study about the narration, that is rules, and then finally the application of these rules. Students, today's topic is narration. So before starting narration, we need to understand some basic points. That is, in English language, the act of reporting of the words is called narration or reported speech. What? In English language, the act of reporting words, that is called as narration or reported speech. To express speaker's statement, we use the following two ways. What are the ways? Number one is direct form and number two is indirect form. So if we study about narration is divided into two categories. That is direct form and number two is indirect form. Now what is direct form? The reporting of words without making any changes, and the statement said by the speaker should be under the inverted commas. Direct speech, if we study about the direct speech, the exact words of the speaker, they are put in inverted commas and are reported as same. No change is being made in direct speech. Got it? So indirect, the first one, that is direct speech. In direct speech, there is no change of words. The actual words of the speaker are being presented. Now, then, and they are put in inverted commas. If we study about indirect speech, the reporting of words with making changes and the statement said by the speaker should not be under inverted commas. And indirect speech is when we remove the inverted commas and when the actual words of the speaker are not represented as same, but there is a change, there is a modification, that is called as indirect speech. For example, direct speech. Rima said to me, comma, inverted commas start, I shall go to cinema today, full stop, inverted commas close. अब इसकी indirect form क्या आएगी? Indirect form, Rima told me that, comma, inverted commas is being changed into that. I, that is, we use a pronoun, she would go to the cinema. So we removed the comma, inverted comma, inverted comma, and then said to is changed into told. And finally, in direct speech, the actual words of the speaker are being put in inverted commas, but in indirect speech, the inverted commas are removed and there is a modification of actual words of the speaker. So the verb used to begin speaker statement is called reported speech. The verb that is used to begin the speaker statement, that is called as reported speech. The repetition of the statement by the speaker is called reported speech. Repetition means repetition of statement by speaker, that is called as reported speech. Now, what is direct speech? In the English language, there are two ways of conveying what someone else has said. Direct, that is quoted speech, and indirect, that is reported speech. Got it? Direct speech is quoted speech and indirect speech is reported speech. Now, what is it? What is direct speech? Direct quoted speech involves quoting the exact words uttered by a person within inverted commas or question mark. Now, we need to understand that in direct speech, the actual words of the speaker, they are being put within the inverted commas, and whatever a person says or utters, that is being reported as same. There is no change being made. For example, Annie said, I will be coming home tonight. I will be coming home tonight. They are the actual words of the speaker. That is why they are put in the inverted commas. That is a statement. Then, what is indirect speech? Indirect or reported speech, on the other hand, does not have to be within quotes or reported word to word. In fact, unless one is relying the exact words spoken, one should never use quotation marks. Now, what happens in indirect speech? The actual words of the speaker are not being put in inverted commas, number one, and most important, number two, the actual words of the speaker are not to be represented as same. One need to rely on the exact words of the speaker and no use of question marks. For example, she said that she would be coming home that night. इसी एग्जाम्पल को हमने मॉडिफाई किया, आई विल बी कमिंग होम टू नाइट. इसी एग्जाम्पल को हमने मॉडिफाई किया, शी सेड दैट शी वुड बी कमिंग होम दैट नाइट. दैट इज ऑल्सो अ स्टेटमेंट, बट दैट इज इन इनडायरेक्ट फॉर्म और रिपोर्टेड स्पीच. Now, indirect speech of exclamatory sentences. Sentences which express statement of joy or sorrow or wonder is called exclamatory sentences, जो हमने parts of speech में पढ़ा है डिटेल में. For example, hurrah, sign of exclamation, we won the match, full stop. Alas, I failed the test, full stop. Wow, what a nice shirt it is, full stop. They are called as exclamatory sentences. Now, to change such sentences, the words exclaimed with joy or exclaimed with sorrow or exclaimed with wonder is added in the reported verb depending upon the nature of exclamatory sentence in indirect speech. For example, indirect speech, he said, hurrah. He said, comma, inverted commas begin, hurrah, sign of exclamation, I won the prize, inverted commas close. Ab he said की जगह hurrah, that means that is the exclamatory sentence, exclaimed with joy that he had won a prize. जहाँ पे हम exclamatory hurrah देखेंगे, exclaimed with joy, ठीक है, बाकी rules हैं में. Then she said, alas, I failed in exam. She exclaimed with sorrow. Alas means dukh. So alas, that is used for sorrow. And then John said, wow, what a nice shirt it is. John exclaimed with wonder that what a nice shirt it is. So we need to understand three words. Wow, exclaimed with wonder. Alas, exclaimed with sorrow. And hurrah, that is exclaimed with joy. Then indirect speech of imperative sentences. The sentences which express command, request, advice or suggestion is called imperative sentence. For example, open the door, please help me and learn your lesson. To change such sentences into indirect speech, the word ordered or requested or advised or suggested or forbade or not to do is added to reporting verb depending upon nature of imperative sentence in reported speech. For example, he said to me, please help me. So he said to me, he requested me to help me. He said to him, you should work hard for exam. He suggested him to work hard for exam. They said to me, do not tell a lie. They said to me not to tell a lie. He said, open the door. He ordered to open the door. The teacher said to the student, do not waste time. The teacher advised the students not to waste time. So indirect speech of interrogative question mark sentences. For changing interrogative question sentences into indirect speech, we have to observe the nature of question and then change it into indirect speech according to its rules for indirect speech. A question can be of two ways. For example, one type which can be answered only in yes or no, and the other type which needs a little bit explanation for its answer and cannot be answered in yes or no. That is interrogative sentence. For example, direct speech. They said to me, did you go to school? Indirect speech. They asked me. Said to is changed being into asked. If I had not gone to school. So how do we change direct to indirect speech? How to use reported speech? When we use reported speech, we are usually talking about the past. Whenever we use reported speech, that means we are talking about the past. Therefore, verbs usually change to the past tense in reported speech. Then usually will change into past tense. For example, if in a word there is or am, that will be changed into was. First rule. We need to study is or am is changed into was. Then are, if there is the word are in any sentence, are will be changed into were in the indirect speech. And if there is a word have or has in any sentence, it would be changed into had in the indirect speech. And if there is a word can or can't, that would change into could or couldn't. And if there is a word will or won't, that will change into would and wouldn't. Is and am is changed into was. Then are is changed into were. Then have and has is changed into had. Can't and can is changed into could and couldn't. And will and won't is changed into would and wouldn't. So tense change in indirect speech. Present simple is changed into past simple. Present continuous tense is changed into past continuous tense. Present perfect tense is changed into past perfect. Present perfect continuous is changed into past perfect continuous. Past simple remains past simple. past continuous is changed into past perfect continuous, and will is changed into would in future simple, and in future continuous will be is changed into would be, and in future perfect will have is changed into would have. Now what are the changes in time and adverbs in indirect speech? Today is changed into that day or the same day. Tomorrow is changed into the next day or the following day. Yesterday is changed into the day before or the previous day. Next day or next month or next year is changed into the following week, month or year. Last month or last year or last week is changed into the previous week, month or year. Now and just is changed into then. Ago is changed into before. Here is changed into there, and this is changed into that. These are the rules. So these were the rules for studying narration. So what we need to do, we need to study these rules. We need to study this chart, this one. Today changed into that day, tomorrow the next day, yesterday the previous day, then now is changed into then, ago is changed into before, here is changed into there, and finally this is changed into that. And then most important tense table chart, this present simple is changed into past simple, present continuous is changed into past continuous, perfect past present perfect tense is changed into past perfect, present perfect continuous is changed into past perfect continuous, and then past simple remains past perfect is changed into past perfect, past continuous is changed into past perfect continuous, and will is in future simple would be is changed into would, and will be in future continuous is changed into would be, and future perfect will have is changed into would have. So आज का हमारा सिर्फ रूल्स का था. अब हम इन रूल्स को स्टडी करेंगे, एंड टुमारो वी विल डू द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ दिस